Hello, and thank you for joining me as we explore together about technology in the modern classroom. But before we dive in, let's take a look at some of the technology from the past. On the left, you can see a car from 1920. On the right, you can see a car from 2020. What an incredible difference just one century can make. On the left, you can see the technology of the cinema in 1920. Movies at the time were silent and in black and white. 100 years later, we now have movies in vibrant color, animation, and crystal clear images. Again, how much has changed in just 100 years? On the left, you will see the technology of 1920, the candlestick telephone. Fast forward 100 years, and now we have a telephone plus the equivalent of a computer that fits neatly in just one hand. Now, let's take another peek into another important aspect of our history, the classroom. On the left, you will see a classroom from 1920, and on the right, you will see, hmm, why is it that virtually every other industry in the United States has experienced drastic changes and improvements over time, but our classrooms look virtually the same as they did 100 years ago? Something has got to change. Now, I'm going to date myself a little bit, but do you all remember the Dewey Decimal System? When I needed to write a report for school, I would have to go to the library and use the Dewey Decimal System in order to try to find a book on the topic that I was reporting on. I would often spend hours at the library trying to skim through different resources and get all the information that I would need. Encyclopedias were extremely helpful. Do you remember that there was once a time when it seemed as though the entire wealth of information about the world would be found on a few of these shelves just like this? But not anymore. With the invention of the internet and through the help of search engines like Google, we now have access to literally the entire world of information that anyone could ever possibly imagine. If there's anything in the world that you want to know, you can find the answer in about zero point 0.2 seconds. Technology has changed over the last 100 years. Now, education must change too. I remember when I was in elementary school, my math teacher would tell us, "You need to memorize these math facts because you won't always have a calculator in your back pocket." Well, joke's on you, Mr. Smith. I do indeed have a calculator in my back pocket, and I guarantee that you do too. So instead of focusing on memorizing and regurgitating information as we did in the past, we need to focus on innovation. How can we use the information that we have to make a positive difference in the world? How can we use the information that we have to solve problems? How can we use the information that we have to create and innovate something new? We need to start by viewing technology as a tool for innovation. There are hundreds of different technology tools that you can incorporate into your classroom. These are just some of my favorites. Google Apps like Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Sheets, Google Forms. We can even use Google Earth to travel around the world and take virtual tours of some of the most famous historical sites and museums, literally bringing the textbook to life. We can use social media as technology tools: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, even TikTok. These platforms give us the opportunity to connect with people all over the world and share ideas and improve in our communication. We can use apps like Nearpod, Kahoot, and Padlet to encourage student engagement by having them be active participants in the lesson. We can learn from the comfort of our own home via Zoom. We can design, present, record, and upload amazing presentations like this one through websites like Canva and YouTube. But there are still many people who have serious reservations and some even outright objections to the use of technology. These concerns are nothing new, though. Allow me to read to you a portion of an article written about the dangers of a new technology. "We are in despair," the author writes, "not because of politics, that all will pass. We see ourselves outdone, thrown into the shade, the background, by a newly found out old invention to see all the world." Do you know what technology the author was so worried about? He continues, "Instead of studying the telescope, the microscope, or the periscope, all the world intent on nothing but the kaleidoscope. Surely this is too bad. Every boy in the street studies his kaleidoscope, though he bumps his head against a wall." That's right, my friends. The terrifying technology that so many in society were worried about, the kaleidoscope. This is an actual article that was written in 1818. Over 200 years ago, people were terrified about this new technology because children everywhere were becoming obsessed with it. People were consumed by staring through the lens of their kaleidoscope instead of at the world around them. People were even getting injured because of using this new technology. Does any of that sound familiar to you? These are the same concerns that many people express today about technology. That people are too obsessed. It's consuming too much of our time. That all people look at is their phone and not the world around them. And this technology is even causing people to get hurt. But when we can start to view technology as a tool and learn to use this tool in meaningful ways, then we can use these tools to create incredible things. After all, there is a reason why we don't use an abacus anymore. When we have more efficient tools, we can then learn and work in a more efficient way. So, what are some of the ways that I use technology as a tool in my classroom? I recently started a YouTube channel called the Peaceful World Schooling Channel. I chose this title for my YouTube channel because I believe that the world is our biggest and best classroom, and the people and places in it are our greatest teachers. One way that I use this tool is that instead of doing live instruction for my classes, I pre recorded the guided part of my lessons and I upload them to YouTube so that my students can watch them at whatever pace they need. Students may change the playback speed, add closed captioning, and they can watch it as many times as necessary for review. Another technology tool that I use is Zoom. Zoom gives us the ability to be able to teach and learn from anywhere in the world. One of my favorite features within Zoom is the breakout room. I use breakout rooms as a way to help my students with time management and to help supervise the flow of the class. Students begin in the first breakout room working on their first assignment, and then as they achieve mastery of that content, then they move to each of the next breakout rooms. This allows me to be able to provide assistance to students that are struggling, as well as to help all of my students pace themselves. If you want to learn more about how to use breakout rooms, check out my full video on this topic, which will be linked in the description of this video. Another cool feature about Zoom lessons is that they also can be recorded and shared on Canvas, our hosting platform, or any other hosting platform. So even if a student is absent from school, they will never have to miss out on class again. Having the flexibility to learn where and when and what you want is one of the greatest blessings of technology. Another technology tool that I use is ePals. ePals is a safe and amazing tool to help our learners connect with learners from all around the world. Students send monitored messages to one another and can even collaborate on projects together. While I use ePals as a way to have a culture and language exchange for my Spanish classes, I've also seen teachers use ePals to facilitate data gathering for a science experiment from other parts of the world, to host virtual philosophical discussions with people from a different belief or value system. to practice authentic writing for English language learners and even native speakers of English, and also learning different ways that students around the world can solve the same math problems. The possibilities are endless. Building relationships with different people around the world is one of the most vital life skills that a person can have. I love to see how my students can often learn infinitely more than I could ever teach them through these international relationships that they are building with our partner classes around the world. Another incredible tool that we can start to incorporate into our classrooms is Canva. Canva is a free design software for teachers and students that we can use to make everything from infographics, presentations, Zoom backgrounds, resumes, Instagram posts, and more. In fact, I created and I am now recording this presentation in Canva right now. One of my favorite features of Canva is the fact that you can turn any presentation into a video through the present and record feature. This is a great option for oral presentations. I made a separate YouTube video explaining step by step how to create and record presentations in Canva. Feel free to check out the link to that video below in the description. And I would be remiss if I did not share with you another important technology tool that I actually created myself, which I encourage every teacher, parent, and student to use: my reading and typing course. I realized that not teaching a child to type is the modern day equivalent of not teaching them to write. Because think about it. When was the last time that you wrote something with a pencil and a piece of paper? How often are you writing something by hand? And how often are you typing at a computer? To be honest, I can't remember the last time that I picked up a pencil to handwrite something, but I type for hours every single day. And I'm able to get a lot done because I was taught how to type properly when I was younger. I had the privilege of taking a typing class in middle school because I attended a private school growing up. However, when I went to public high school, I was shocked to find that the public school students did not have this same training. So while they were struggling for hours typing up our English essays, I was finished in a few minutes. The average typing speed for an adult is around 30 words per minute. For children, this number is even less. Currently, I type over 90 words per minute. And while we're talking about typing speed, let's take a look at how typing speed can impact your students. Just how long will it take to type 500 words? 500 words is about one page typed. If a student types only 5 words per minute, it will take him 100 minutes to type 500 words. At 10 words per minute, it will take 50 minutes. At 25 words per minute, it will take 20 minutes. At 50 words per minute, it will take 10 minutes. And at over 90 words per minute, the speed that I type at, it will take just 5 minutes. Now, let's imagine that students are required to type just one page per day. Over the course of a year, this means that the person who types 5 words per minute will be typing for 25 entire days over the course of that 1 year. At 10 words per minute, they'll spend 13 entire days typing. At 25 words per minute, they will spend 5 days typing. At 50 words per minute, they'll spend 2.5 days typing. And at over 90 words per minute, they will be spending only 1 day typing one full page every single day of the year. So that means that in order to produce the same amount of words, a slower typer will spend more than 3 weeks of their life doing what an efficient typist can do in just 1 day. We must remember that if you waste your time, you waste your life. And we are wasting our students' time and their lives by not teaching them this valuable skill and not working on this skill ourselves. This is why I created my reading and typing program. I saw my students in elementary school struggling to type up paragraphs on the computer. I saw them fail computer-based standardized tests, not because they did not know how to write well, but because they did not know how to type well. My typing course is an online course that teaches touch typing through spelling and phonics. Every single school should have this program be a requirement for their students. If you would like to check out my typing course, I'll put the link below in the description. There are many more tools of technology that I can share with you, but I hope that this presentation will inspire you to give just one new technology tool a try this week. Comment your favorite technology tool below, and feel free to check out the links to my favorite technology tools in the description of this video. Remember that technology is best when it brings people together. So instead of using technology to simply consume, try to create more than you consume and inspire our students to do the same. Focus on creation, connection, collaboration, and communication. Oh, yeah, and critical thinking. Technology is a valuable tool, and together we can use these tools to build a bright and better future. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. I am so excited to continue supporting you on your journey to becoming a peaceful world schooler and making the most of the many, many tools that we have been blessed with, including technology.